Hello, fellow Duluthians, and those of you who live, work, and play in the city of Duluth. My name is Mike Tuskin. I serve as the police chief here at the Duluth Police Department. I'm coming to you today to talk about our police response and what you can expect during these times of uncertainty with the coronavirus. As we are, as you are, we're inundated with coverage on the coronavirus. Certainly seems to be changing by the day or minute. We are tracking all those changes and doing best practices in order to keep you safe, in order to keep us safe so that we can keep you safe. I think this is a time of angst. I think this is a time where we are always best to come together to try to give people a hand up, to figure out ways that we can support each other. And I think that I always say as our greatest strength in our organization is the people we do police with and we serve with. And I think that's always important for us to remember that we are really all in this together. And we couldn't be effective at our job without the support of all of you who are a force multiplier of eyes and ears to help us do this most important work. And so with that, I wanted to talk a little bit about our staffing plan. Our staffing plan that we have in place is to it's kind of an all-in staffing plan. We have 157 sworn. And we're going to have all those folks ready or able to help with really the 911 response. Not that we're anticipating more of a response, but one of the reasons that we're doing this is so that we have and can honor social distancing and avoid community spread by having people work a period of days and then be off for an extended period of time before they return to work. Accomplishes two things. Is one, it limits exposure. So everyone in our department, including myself, will have some level of exposure, but we're not going to put all of that opportunities for exposure on just the patrol division. So it's a number of people. Many hands make light work. Many of our people will be working in this function patrol that will allow us to have a schedule that will have people working for a period of days and then off for an extended period of time before they return to work. Why that's important is we know that in this virus, it's anywhere from 5 to 14 days before you start to show signs and symptoms. We want people to be off work, and perhaps if they come down with this, which of course we hope they don't, we would know before they return back to work that they're symptomatic, and so that they don't certainly start the community spread from within the police department. So that staffing plan that we're going to have, as a result of doing that staffing plan, there's some things that will change in our operations. So some responses aren't going to change at all. You won't, if it's an in-progress crime, if it's a violent crime, if there's property being damaged, our patrol officers are going to respond as always. You may notice that they may have a mask on in some responses, that they may have latex gloves on, but otherwise, essentially, it is a response that requires police service or police to be in person, and that will happen as usual. What you may notice is different is if there are some lower level crimes which don't have a suspect, for instance, you may get a phone call in lieu of a in-person visit. Or we may be referring you to our online reporting to do the same. Now, when I say lower level, that doesn't mean that it's not important to you, and we certainly acknowledge that. But there is a triaging that we do with all calls for service, about 110,000 calls for service we get a year. And as a result of that, we do triage calls for service, and they can get categorized as to what type level of response we're going to have. So that will be probably the most significant difference. Investigations, because we took so many of those resources out of investigations and then pooled them into patrol so that we can have this augmented patrol division to staff responsibly to avoid community spread. Some investigations are going to be put into a pending status until investigators return. So just so you're aware, if there's an investigation that you're tracking or that's important to you, that may be putting in a pending status. Investigations that involve serious assaults, sexual assaults, domestic assaults, felony level crimes will still happen. Some of the investigations that don't rise to that status may be the ones that are put into a pending status until investigators return to duty. So one of the questions I get is, how do we support, what can we do and can we support one another during this event? You know, today there was a press conference that the mayor held that announced that city buildings will be closed after today to the public. And two of the speakers, one was from Chum, and certainly one was from our local food shelf, First Harvest. Both of them are requesting, you know, opportunities for us to give food. So we're always better when we work together. Some folks just feel like they need to do something during these tough times. And if you do or are inclined, I certainly, Chum would appreciate having some food to hand out to people that certainly need a hand up, as would First Harvest. So with that, just bear with us. I'm going to intend on doing more updates as needed, but just recognize that we are there for you, as we always are. If you have a need and you need to have a hand up or support from us, give us a call and we will be there to support you as always. So thank you, and thank you for your support of our police officers in this city and doing this important work. Thank you.